Oh, hello, and welcome. How's everybody doing? It is 8:08 p.m. here in Florida, and I'm going to be hanging out with you guys for about an hour. Topic of conversation tonight is what is your favorite Star Wars movie? But you know how these things go. We stay on topic 5% of the time, and then we mosey around whatever we want to talk about. So, Welcome, guys. Hope you had a good day. If you tuned in last night, I did a stream last night, and we went to like 12:30 at night. I didn't start the stream until like 10:30. We went for a couple hours, man. It was one of the most fun streams I have ever done. The first half was Battlefront, and then my daughter woke up, and I tucked her into bed with my wife, and then I continued on with a Lightspeed Lounge until about midnight.
ANH is
and it was great.
My number one. Empire might be better from a writing perspective, but Hope is like the perfect adventure film, similar to how Raiders is for Indiana Jones.
Ricky, thank you so much, man. Good to see you. I know you were here last night as well. Give me one sec. But yeah, last night's stream was like one of my favorite streams I've ever done. We went for 2 hours, played some games, had some drinks, talked about everything and anything under the sun. So if you want to listen to it, I mean, it might not be, I don't know, do you guys listen to these things after the fact? I don't know if that would be fun at all, but it's there. Anyway, Ricky, thank you so much for the first super chat and channel support of the stream. Ricky says, A New Hope is definitely my number one. Empire might be better from a writing perspective, but Hope is like the perfect adventure film, similar to how Raiders is for Indiana Jones. I completely agree. So it's no secret, all you guys know this, A New Hope is my favorite Star Wars movie. One of the biggest reasons for that is because it's the one that I grew up watching the most. So there's a huge nostalgia factor with that movie. But also, I'm a big fan of beginnings. Like every single franchise, if there is a trilogy or whatever, generally, I mean, there's a couple exceptions, but generally, the first movie in that trilogy is the one that I like the most. Back to the Future, Star Wars, Fellowship of the Ring. Indiana Jones is kind of more of a toss-up for me because in my heart of hearts, like Temple of Doom is my favorite. I love that movie so much, as goofy as it is, as much as it gets bashed. I love Temple of Doom. But I'm with you, Ricky. A New Hope is such a fun adventure flick. It's fast-paced. I love the pacing of it because it starts off slow, introductions of characters. Spend a lot of time on Tatooine, get to know this world, this universe that you're going to explore in. And then once you get to the Death Star, it's just fast-paced fun. Han Solo running down the corridors of the Death Star, chasing stormtroopers, being chased. It's just constant go, 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 go. And, it's interesting. When I think of Star Wars, like one of the first scenes, one of the first moments that pops into my head is that moment where Han Solo is running after the stormtroopers and yelling, and there's a great shot where the camera is on stormtroopers and then the music is just like dun, dun, it's just like paced perfectly, and then the camera cuts to Han Solo and he's running at the same tempo and speed. That moment is like the definition of A New Hope for me. I don't know. But yeah, Ricky, I appreciate it, man. And I'm with you, for sure. It's going to be hard for anything to ever beat that movie for me. Just because, again, the fact that I watched it the most as a kid, and that's, it's the movie that started it all. But anyway, cheers, man. Mr. French Canadian Wolfman, thank you so much for the super chat and channel support as well. Wolfman says 20th anniversary of the Micro series is on November 7th. Can you believe that I still haven't watched that? I know you can. I know you can believe that. That thing has been sitting in a folder in my bookmarks called Watch for, I don't even know how long. I wish I could see how long that's been in my bookmarks for. But, I mean, who knows how long? 5, 6, 7, 8 years? And I still haven't watched that thing? The Clone Wars micro series from what, like 2000? Is it 2003? Is that when it came out? Well, obviously you said 20-year anniversary, so 2003. Yeah. Yeah, I've never seen it, and I guess you can watch it all on YouTube, which is where I have it bookmarked. And what in total? It's like 2 hours. That's easily digestible. I've just never. You know, whenever I have time to watch something, it doesn't pop into my mind that I need to watch it, you know? But how about this, Wolfman? I promise, I'm gonna make a pinky promise over the radio waves that I will watch it and make a video about it for the 20th anniversary of it. I promise. I promise I will do that, alright? Oh, it's on Disney Plus. No kidding. I don't think I knew that. All right. I promise you that I will watch that by November 7th and have a video up maybe the week before the 20th anniversary. I promise you. All right? So, I will celebrate the 20th anniversary of it without never seeing it over the past 20 years and only seeing it on the 20th anniversary. But anyway, cheers, Wolfman. I appreciate that, man. Let me take a quick sip here. All right, there we go. Cameron Stewart, thank you so much for the channel support as well. Cameron says, Return of the Jedi since I was a kid, but TLJ is tied. Mixed feelings at first, but over time I've come to absolutely love everything about it. So yeah, my list of favorite Star Wars movies goes A New Hope, Empire Strikes Back, Return of the Jedi. And then The Last Jedi. It's my fourth favorite Star Wars movie. There were a few things that, after my initial viewing, I didn't really care for. And none of it had to do with, like, character choices or anything like that. It had to do with certain pacing elements. Some of, like, Canto Bight, but, you know, that's been beaten to death. And after subsequent viewings, you realize that Canto Bight plays such a small role, at least in time, in the movie's runtime. And just like anything, man, after you watch something a few times, the things that you kind of had an issue with, for me at least, kind of smooth out, and the positives begin to bubble up and be more noticeable. But I've liked that movie since day one. You can go back and watch my first The Last Jedi review, and I loved the Luke Skywalker decision with his character. I was a huge fan of, you know, Rey and Kylo's relationship, how that was built, how that was handled. There's so much in that movie that, you know, takes chances and tries new things. And I appreciate it deeply for that, and I think it's one of the best made Star Wars movies. For sure. But Cameron, yeah, Return of the Jedi, man. Return of the Jedi has my favorite lightsaber fight in any Star Wars thing ever. You know, that confrontation between Luke and the Emperor and Vader. It's beautiful. It's beautiful, and it's barely any lightsaber action. It's more dialogue. It's interesting, you know. Turning points and stuff like that. So, yeah. But I appreciate that, Cameron. Cheers, man. French Canadian Wolfman says, New Hope is the GOAT. Hot take, Attack of the Clones is my second favorite. Attack of the Clones is pretty low on my list. And I would say it's probably the Star Wars movie that I've seen the least. I take that back. I've seen it more than The Rise of Skywalker. I've seen it more than Rogue One. I've seen it more than Solo. Probably haven't seen it as much as Force Awakens or The Last Jedi. But it was never one that I really cared to watch a lot growing up, you know, when we got the DVDs and the VHSs and stuff. Actually, was Attack of the Clones on VHS?
Here's my list. Return of the Jedi, Revenge of the Sith, The Last Jedi,
It was,
the
okay.
second half of Ahsoka, Empire
'Cause I know-
Strikes Back, The Clone Wars, Andor, The Force Awakens, A New Hope, Clone Wars.
Okay, they were
Phantom.
all. For whatever reason, man, I thought one of the prequel movies never made it to VHS because they were phasing it out and DVDs were overtaking them. But I guess they were all released. Why did I think that? Why did I think that? Interesting. I don't know why I thought that. Yeah, I thought it was. Who said that? Air Pokemon Naruto. I was under that impression too that Revenge of the Sith wasn't released on VHS, but. Oh, okay. Here we go. Here's a little more explanation. Pokemon says this release is notable because due to marketing issues, it was the first Star Wars film never to be released on VHS in the United States. However, the film was released on VHS in Australia, the UK, and other countries. So, Revenge of the Sith does not have a United States VHS release. Okay, so I knew there was something with that. It does have a VHS release for Australia, the UK, and other countries. So, interesting. I did not know that. I knew it didn't have... I knew, like, there was something fishy about the VHS release of Revenge of the Sith, and I didn't think it ever existed. So, we were partially right? I mean, it exists in other countries, but not here. Where I am. Interesting. But, Wolfman, I appreciate that. Mr. Doom, good to see you. Doomcar says, that's no moon. Favorite scene.
Empire
I knew... Oh, one
Strikes
sec.
Back. I prefer darker movies that aren't too predictable. The Battle of Hoth is my favorite battle of all time. The shot of the walkers gunning down the rebels.
Hell yeah.
Amazing.
Alabasted, thank you so much for the super chat and channel support. Generous super chat and channel support this evening. Give me one sec. Yeah, Doom. You know, I love... Yeah, that entire sequence is so great. There's something about the Millennium Falcon cockpit that I don't know, that just like flat shot of the front of all the characters in frame. It's so... I don't... It's like a stage play almost. I don't know how to describe it. But... yeah, I'm with you. There's so much of that movie that I love. It's why it's my favorite one. Just the build-up, you know. The build-up leading into the Death Star, leading to the fast and fun and non-stop action. You know, running around on that big space station. Yeah, that's no moon. Caught in the tractor beam. But a new hope all the way indeed, Mr. Doom. I appreciate that, man. No, I'm not into Marvel, Nathan. I haven't seen more Marvel movies than I have seen, I'll put it that way. But yeah. Benjamin B, thank you so much for the super chat and channel support. Ben says, here's my list. Return of the Jedi, Revenge of the Sith, The Last Jedi, the second half of Ahsoka, The Empire Strikes Back, Clone Wars, Andor, The Force Awakens, New Hope, Clone Wars, Phantom Interesting. Return of the Jedi, Revenge of the Sith, number 1s and 2. Ones? So number 1 and 2. Interesting. You know, my relationship with... I like Revenge of the Sith. But what I like about it more is actually like the experience that I had going to see it. You probably heard me talk about this, but I dressed up as Greedo, and my buddy dressed up as Han. And, you know, we went to an actual midnight release. You know, nowadays, if a movie comes out tomorrow, well, it actually technically comes out today at 6 p.m., right? Well, back then, the first release of a movie was at midnight. So Revenge of the Sith at midnight is what we saw. And, you know, it was lined up around the block. I had my Greedo mask on. I was wearing my dad's, like, coveralls from work that kind of looked like a flight suit or something. I found an orange, kind of a fluffy vest that I wore. Me and my buddy, like, went to Home Depot. We bought plumbing parts to modify our Nerf guns. So we had I probably still have it somewhere. We modified our Nerf guns with plumbing parts, and they looked good. So if you have my book, there's actually a picture of us in it, which is kind of cool. You can see it, but yeah, pretty neat, man. But yeah, Ben, I appreciate that. It's an interesting ranking. I like how it's all over the place. Variety. But Phantom Menace is all the way down on your list. It's actually my favorite prequel. Again, nostalgia overshadows a lot. But yeah, cheers, Ben. Alabasted and the Good Raylo, thank you guys so much. Alabasted says, Empire Strikes Back, I prefer darker movies that aren't too predictable. The Battle of Hoth is my favorite battle of all time. The shot of the walkers gunning down the rebels, amazing. Yeah, I would tend to agree. It's one of the reasons that I thoroughly enjoy The Last Jedi, you know. There's a lot of twists and turns in that movie. I mean, the ending with Luke on Crate facing Kylo is just one of the best and most, I don't know, surprise. I'll never forget the feeling that I had going to see the movie for the first time and and realizing, you know, what's going on with Luke. And that whole scene with Leia and everything, it was pretty mind-blowing for me, at least. So, you know, I like twists and turns and unexpected moments. What kills my enjoyment with a lot of, well, you know, some Star Wars stuff is easily predictable things. You know, if the audience isn't on its toes, if we don't have twists and turns and everything is predictable, then it gets stale and stagnant and boring to me, you know. So, The Empire Strikes Back is, I would say it's like the best sequel of all time, because it didn't really go down the same road as A New Hope. I mean, I'm sure there was pressure to just kind of make more of the same. You know, if something works, you just try to copy it and recreate it, and hopefully and cross your fingers that people will like it. But no, they went down a very different road. Our heroes are at their you know, their lowest point. And they took artistic decisions that maybe weren't guaranteed to please the audience, but they made those artistic decisions because it was the right story to tell, you know. But yeah, I'm with you there, Alabasted. Doesn't necessarily mean that I prefer darker movies, but I do like when things are unpredictable. you know. But cheers, man. And yeah, the Hoth battle. I mean, it's undeniably one of the most iconic sequences in any Star Wars thing ever. I love it through and through. It's also one of the best levels in any video game ever. Shadows of the Empire, my friend. Shadows of the Empire. The Good Raylo, thank you so much for the channel support as well. Good Raylo says, The Force Awakens and The Last Jedi are my favorite Star Wars films. To me, they feel like one continuous film, with The Rise of Skywalker sticking out like a sore thumb. I agree. It's interesting to me how, I don't know, bent out of shape people get about The Last Jedi, but in relation to The Force Awakens, but I think they complement one another so well. I don't know. I'm sure somebody would want to argue with me, but I don't have fucking energy. But I would definitely tend to agree, Raylo, that the Rise of Skywalker is that sore thumb. It's one of my least favorite Star Wars movies. One of the things that I do really enjoy about it is the relationship between Kylo and Rey. I think that was handled very well and taken from The Last Jedi and brought over into The Rise of Skywalker very smoothly. I thought they did a good job with that, but basically everything else about the movie, I didn't care for. Obviously the biggest thing with Palpatine being back, I thought that was just creatively boring. But yeah, The Force Awakens and The Last Jedi were my last two, like, holy shit moments in Star Wars when it comes to going to see a movie, you know. Unfortunately, I didn't have any holy shit moments in The Rise of Skywalker because it immediately just landed flat with me. I didn't have any holy shit moments with Rogue One. I mean, the ending battle, yeah, it's cool. It's a big over-the-top ending battle. Get to see Vader being Monster Man. But it didn't smack me like the ending of The Last Jedi did, you know. Solo didn't have any holy shit moments for me. So, you know, the Force Awakens and The Last Jedi were like the last true epic movie going, like Star Wars movie going experiences that I've had, and will stick with me for a very long time, you know. But I appreciate that, the Good Raylo. Cheers. Andrew Smith, thank you so much as well. Empire is my favorite, but I have seen Revenge the most. I can't watch Empire by itself. I need to watch the whole OT while I can easily watch Revenge on its own. Oh, interesting. Interesting. Revenge on its own. Interesting. Yeah. It's very rare that I sit down to just watch like Empire or Return of the Jedi. I mean, I've done it plenty of times, but it's interesting that you mentioned this. I've never really thought about it before, but the one that I always just put on, like if I just have some time to kill and I'm folding laundry or something like that and I don't feel like scrolling through YouTube, I'll grab a couple baskets of laundry that need to be done, and I'll throw on like 4K 77 or Harmy's Despecialized Edition, and I'll just have that on. But I never do that with any of the other Star Wars movies. I mean, I've done that with Force Awakens and The Last Jedi, but I haven't really done it that much. Like, A New Hope is my comfort food. It is my, I'm just going to put something on. It is the movie that I can just rewatch over and over again in the Star Wars catalog, you know. But I'm trying to think the prequel movie that I watched the most. I would say that the prequel movie that I watched the most was The Phantom Menace. because it came out in 99. I was 13 when that thing came out. And as soon as it came out on VHS, I knew I watched it a few times. I had some of the toys. But I didn't do that with Attack of the Clones, and I didn't do that with Revenge of the Sith. Maybe it was because I was a little older with Revenge of the Sith, but The Phantom Menace is hands down the prequel movie that I've seen the most. But yeah, I actually saw a couple years ago. Oh shit, it's probably been 6 years now. But I saw The Empire Strikes Back at the Jacksonville Symphony Orchestra with the Jacksonville Symphony Orchestra. So like, I don't know if they have this around you. They probably do. But like, they'll show a movie, and then the orchestra will play the music to it, and it was a pretty damn amazing experience. I've seen a few movies like that. I've seen Empire Strikes Back. I've seen Home Alone. Home Alone, they showed it with the orchestra. I've seen Raiders of the Lost Ark like that. Pretty cool. But yeah, I appreciate that, Andrew. Cheers, man. How do you get 4K 77? Torrents. I don't know if you're familiar with torrents. That's really the only way that I know how. I'm sure there's other ways to get it, but yeah, you can download a torrent from I don't know where these days. I got it years ago, but it's a big file. Yeah. Devin Brady says, it might not be my favorite, but The Force Awakens is amazing. I've never anticipated a movie that much. Saw it 10 times in the theater. Yeah, I feel like that is the last time, because growing up, I grew up in the 90s, and I just had the original trilogy. We just had the original trilogy to watch, right? And then it was announced that there were going to be prequel movies, and everybody was freaking out. And then, boom, they came out. But then, years later, it was announced that they were making new Star Wars movies under the banner of Disney. And everybody was freaking out, and I was super excited. And I feel like that is the last time that I will feel that level of Star Wars anticipation again. It's not a good thing, it's not a bad thing. It's just different. But I feel like that is the last time that I will have that insane build-up where, you had a Star Wars drought, and the whole world is just buzzing and excited for it. Now we're inundated with Star Wars shows. So many Star Wars shows and stuff like that. There's constantly something new coming out. Again, it's just different, but it kind of bums me out that we're not going to have that, long build-up and anticipation anymore. Despite not having a Star Wars movie come out for a long time, that build-up, that anticipation, it won't be the same. Because, there's a lot of other Star Wars stuff that's already out, and that, we're inundated with it, so, yeah. I miss that slow burn. I miss that anticipation. I miss that, like, that buzz, Yeah. Favorite beer? Oh God, I don't know. There's so many, man. I can't choose. We got a lot of breweries around us. I don't know. One of my all-time favorites, I guess, is called Truck Stop Stout. It's from a local brewery called Ardwolf, and it's just a very thick, stout beer, and it's great. But I don't know, man. I can't pick. Yeah, Fat Man says, same, the magic of waiting a few years for new Star Wars is gone, sadly. I agree. Again, it's not a good thing, it's not a bad thing, but, you know, I still get excited for these shows that come out. I still get excited when I hear about new movies, but it's just with us. It's always with us. And back in the day, it wasn't. And, you know, when you're in a drought, you get thirsty. And everybody gets excited for a little Star Wars water. And nowadays, it won't be like that. So, I don't know. It's interesting. But yeah. Yeah, I do it good, Raylo. Raylo says, all I know is that whenever the next Star Wars movie comes out, I need to take my little sister to the midnight premiere and dress up. Do it to it. It's fun. For sure. I don't know when the next one comes out, but my daughter's 5, so, you know, maybe the next one will come out in a few years. She'll be 7 or 8. That's a good age to take somebody to a Star Wars movie, right? TFA was a special time that kind of fell off after that. It's hard to compete. It's hard to compete with that build up, you know. Even the prequels, The Phantom Menace was like by far. I did a video about that a while ago. How the Phantom Menace was enormous, made a ton of money, it had a huge viewership, and then Attack of the Clones had less, significantly less. And then I think Revenge of the Sith had a little more than Attack of the Clones. So, like, everybody's super pumped, everybody's super excited, getting on that hype train, and then it kind of dips, you know.
With its content. Just hard for me to feel hyped when I'm already so overwhelmed with new content every year. Been feeling the same way about Marvel too.
Doom and Ricky, thank you so much for the generous super chats this evening, guys. Doom says, which movie do you think will be best, Dawn of the Jedi, Dave's movie, or the Rey Jedi Order movie? Also, Revenge is my favorite prequel. Solo is my favorite Disney. Interesting. A Solo mention here. I don't think I've seen Solo mentioned once in the chat. So what do I think will be best? I will tell you what I'm the most excited for is the Dawn of the Jedi movie. You know, if you've been following my channel for a long time, I mean, forever I've been talking about how it would be kind of neat if we did or if they made a movie or a show or something like that that went way back in time and kind of investigated the first people who discovered the Force, you know, because it's always been there. It just took some people to tap into it and figure it out. I don't know exactly if that movie's going to be this, or that idea is going to be in this movie, but the idea of maybe that discovery, that creation, is enough for it to be the movie that I'm most excited for out of that. The one that I'm least excited for, honestly, is Dave Filoni's movie. You know, I've enjoyed, for the most part, the shows he's made and stuff, but I feel like everything feels so similar to one another. So I hope it blows me out of the water, but as of right now, it's the one that I'm probably least excited for. Now, Rey Jedi Order movie, I like Rey as a character. So for that reason, I'm excited to see, you know, what that character does in the future. So, what do I think will be best? I don't know. I can't say that, but the one I'm most excited for is Dawn of the Jedi. Yeah. Like by far. But I think Doom, I think you probably fall into the I think most people's favorite prequel is Revenge of the Sith. I think if you did a poll, you know, what's everybody's favorite prequel movie? I think the vast majority would say Revenge of the Sith. And I get it. I get it. And Solo is the movie that has grown on me almost more than any other Star Wars movie. Like, when I first saw it, I just kind of shrugged my shoulders and I was like, all right, whatever. It's a bunch of stuff we already know about Han Solo jammed into 2 hours. But over the years, I've kind of grown to really like it. And it's just, it's fun and it's a little adventurous. I kind of wish it was a little more lighthearted and goofy. But, yeah, I'll do a chat poll. Everybody in the chat, how do I do that? Start a poll. Favorite prequel movie? Question mark. TPM. Attack of the Clones. Revenge of the Sith. ROT. Revenge of the Sith. There we go. Alright, it's up. You got a poll in the chat. Feel free or don't. I'm just curious. But yeah, I appreciate that, Doom. Cheers, man. Let's see. Ricky, thank you so much as well. Ricky says, honestly miss when Star Wars was more spaced out with its content. Just hard for me to feel hyped when I'm already so overwhelmed with new content every year. Been feeling the same way about Marvel too. I have been feeling that way about Marvel for 15 years. I don't know when they first started doing all this stuff. But that Marvel burnout, that superhero burnout has been with me. It hasn't been 15 years, right? When was that Iron Man movie made? It has been that I don't get excited for those movies at all. I've never really did. But I got burned out super fast with that. And I don't have the love for that franchise as I do with Star Wars. So if I did love it, I'm sure I would feel different about it. But Ricky, I'm with you. It made it feel more special when you had to wait, years to see a new Star Wars movie. And we weren't always inundated with Star Wars stuff. It did make it more special. The hype that we've all experienced, whether you're old enough to kind of remember the build up for the Phantom Menace, or the Force Awakens for that matter. That build up, I don't think will ever be experienced again. On a large scale. What made Star Wars so special was it missing for a little bit. And then, like an old friend, it comes around the corner that you haven't seen for a long time, and boom, you're back in it. You're back to where you were, 10 years ago. And it does bum me out that I honestly don't think we'll ever experience that again. Unless of course everything takes a big break for 10 years or something, which will never happen. But it did. I don't know. It's hard to explain. And kids these days, they won't even question it, as they should. They shouldn't question. I mean, it's their Star Wars experience is just different. It's not better. It's not worse. It's just different. They have so much content, whether it's in animation or shows or movies, that's been released and on the horizon. That that there's constantly something right around the corner coming out. And, their hype will just be different than the hype that we all felt. Again, it's not worse, it's not better, it's just different. But yeah, Ricky. I appreciate that, man. It's, living through those big droughts and those huge moments of, anticipation and hype, it made the experience of seeing the thing even more enjoyable for me. But yeah, I appreciate that, Ricky. Andrew Smith, thank you so much for the channel support as well. Andrew says, I am really enjoying Ahsoka, but I'm slightly fearful that it won't have a proper conclusion as it is probably setting up Dave's movie. I've had that same thought. I mean, they have 2 more episodes to tie things together. I do have a feeling that it'll end on some kind of cliffhanger. I'm sure there will be a resolution, a conclusion, but I have a feeling it will, serve the purpose of feeding in to, if not a movie, if not Dave's movie, another show. I mean, so many of these shows are tying into one another, and it's really not my cup of tea. But I too have a feeling that will be the case. Oh, you want to see the next thing? You got to see it on the big screen, because they're not making a second season as of right now, at least. So yeah, I'm assuming that they will have a conclusion, but look, they have 2 episodes. 2 episodes. What are they going to do? I don't know. I mean, they can do a lot in 2 episodes, but I do have a feeling that it's going to feed into something else, which again, it's not better, it's not worse, it's just different. That's the way things are these days, Yeah, I appreciate that, Andrew. Let's see how the poll's doing. So for the favorite prequel movie poll, Revenge of the Sith is at 77%. So yeah, that's expected. I've always, whenever anybody's, whenever this question comes up, Revenge of the Sith is by far people's favorite prequel movie. So that's not surprising at all. But yeah. Vince, thank you so much for the super chat and channel support. The Empire Strikes Back, but favorite Star Wars music? I love the bit in Empire when Chewie, Leia, and Lando are fleeing Cloud City. Y'all can hear it, can't you? I think The Empire Strikes Back. Oh man, I think The Empire Strikes Back has the best Star Wars music. I think it has the widest variety of Star Wars music. I mean, like the asteroid chase, Yoda's theme. There's so much great music in that movie that if you listen to the soundtrack, you're like, oh man, I forgot about that. It's just, there's such a wide variety of, the Imperial March. Such a wide variety of super iconic music in that flick. That to me, it's the best soundtrack in any of the movies. God, I need to get, that would be a cool vinyl to get and put on my wall. Let's see, on eBay, Vince. Allow me to take a quick detour. Strikes Back vinyl. Empire Strikes Back vinyl. Ooh, that would be really cool to have. It's all like bidding. $10 starting bid, $20 starting bid. What is this? Empire, John Williams. Oh, that's a cool cover for it. I've never seen that. Symphonic Suite from the original National Philharmonic Orchestra. Oh, it's not the John Williams version. That's a cool cover, though. It's got Luke standing on Hoth with his tauntaun. That's cool. I've never seen that. Yeah, maybe I'll get the Empire Strikes Back soundtrack on vinyl to put on my wall this Christmas. Miko plays Star Wars The Empire Strikes Back, 10-inch 1980. Miko? What is Miko? The only Miko, M-E-C-O, the only Miko that I know is main engine cutoff. That's a big nerdy NASA buff knowledge right there. I almost bought the Empire vinyl last week. I just wasn't willing to pay $70 for it. Yeah, I wouldn't pay that either. But you can definitely get it for much cheaper. $25 is the cheapest one that I've seen on eBay. I don't know the condition of it, but yeah, this one's pretty beat up. Maybe it would just add some character, right? Some cool covers too, but they're not the actual John Williams version. It's obviously he composed it, but somebody else is conducting the orchestra. Interesting. The only vinyl record that I own is Britney Spears' Oops, I Did It Again. Nice. I own a few. I usually, if there's a band I really like, I might get their vinyl, but I rarely, if ever, play them on my record player. I have a little, you've probably seen it in videos, but I have a little sleeve, a little sleeve mounted on my wall where I can take out a record and put a new one in. It's like an interchangeable picture frame almost for vinyl records. So, you know, sometimes I'll switch it out occasionally, but yeah. Anyway, Vince, I appreciate that, man. Yeah, I'm gonna end up getting it on vinyl. So like the ones that are kind of beat up are like $25. The ones that look like they're in great condition are $75 plus. But yeah, interesting. Florida Panthers 2020. Thank you so much for the channel support as well. Or not channel support. I apologize. I was just gonna read your message here. Greedo, did you ever ride Star Tours? I love Star Tours. I've been on it so many times, man. Yeah, I love it. My daughter loves it too. Like, we had season passes over the past year to Disney, and we'd go down and we would ride, because the wait time for Star Tours nowadays is like 10 minutes. And we would just get on it, get off it, get on it, get off it, get on it, and get off it over and over and over again. It's a fun ride, man. And I like the fact that they've updated it over the years, you know. I actually like Star Tours rather, more than Smuggler's Run. I don't really care for Smuggler's Run. I mean, it's cool, the line's cool, getting to get into the cockpit's cool, but the ride itself, meh. I think Star Tours is better. But oh, it's new on Amazon for $29, really? Oh, I see the one you're talking about. That's not composed by John Williams. I don't believe. I mean, it's composed by John Williams, but it's not conducted by John Williams. Let me see. Wrote this suite for concert performance and then worked with out of print since this fantastic reissue comes with original Star Wars and image of John Williams. It also includes notes from author Ray Bradbury. Oh, maybe it is. Maybe it is conducted by John Williams. Okay, I like this cover art too. I'm gonna look into this a little more. It's the same album, they've just reissued it. Okay. Is it conducted by John Williams? That's cool. Alright, I'm gonna keep this up because I like the cover art as well. But yeah. Anyway, guys, we're about at an hour. I'm gonna hop off here. I gotta get all my work stuff together and thrown in my car for a early morning trip to the station. So I have to work tomorrow. Wednesday, I think we're gonna be putting our cat down. Unfortunately, I talked about that extensively last night. Thursday, I'm gonna try to get some videos made. Probably do a late night stream Thursday. Then I'm off on Friday. I took 2 shifts off in a row, so I don't have to work from Wednesday. So I'm off for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm off for 8 days in a row. And we're going to be going to Austin, Texas this coming weekend. So I won't see you guys for a few days, but I'm hoping to have some videos scheduled for when I'm gone. But yeah, man, thanks for hanging out. Yeah, what else? That's it. Stream Thursday night probably, and maybe Wednesday night too, depending on how I feel. Wednesday night might be like another late night stream from 11 to 1 in the morning like it was last night. But yeah, that's it from me. Alright, enjoy the rest of your morning, your afternoon, your evening, wherever you are on planet Earth. And I will see you guys when I see you. Alright? Cool. Oh, one sec. We got one final super chat coming in. James K, thank you so much for the super chat channel support. James says, just wanted to say I've got a lot of nostalgia for your old videos. Thanks for everything you've done for Star Wars. I haven't done shit, man. But I really appreciate you saying that. I have a lot of nostalgia for them too. I recently went into my upload list, and I just searched for changes, and the changes videos aren't the only things that pop up, but other videos pop up when I search for that too. And it just blows me away looking at some of these videos that I completely forgot that I made. I mean, there's so many videos that I completely forgot that I made. Goofy videos, out there videos, weird videos I'm like, where the hell did I get that idea? You know? So I have a lot of nostalgia for it too. I like looking back and seeing, all the stuff that I used to make. And I would love to start making goofy videos again. It's hard for me to put hard for me to find the time to put all that time into stuff like that. I haven't used my green screen in, I feel like, a couple years, you know, but that means a lot, James. I appreciate that, you know. A lot of you guys have been around the channel for a long time. I've been doing this since 2011, on and off, you know, and it's cool to see how many of you guys have, like, been around, seen my old stuff, kind of gone through the evolution of this thing with me. And, yeah, it's been a fun ride. I'm sure there will be further evolution and changes to the channel in the future. Maybe I'll get back to some of my goofy, stupid roots. I'd love to. But, maybe one day my daughter would want to hop on a video and put on a Vader mask. I think it'd be funny for a 5-year-old to wear a Vader helmet and boss me around as a stormtrooper. Maybe that's a good idea for a video. That's actually not a bad idea. Oh my god, I might have just came up with a new stupid idea. We'll see. Alright, anyway, James, I appreciate that, man. Alright, guys, enjoy the rest of your morning, your afternoon, your evening, wherever you are on planet Earth. Once again, cheers, James, and everybody else who supported the channel this evening. And I'll see you when I see you. Alright, later.